darkness are brought to light in order to heal as a community.
Welcome back to the Candid Conversation Show. My name is Muriel, and on the show, we discuss topics that are unspoken and taboo in our community. Our guest tonight is Rynette Upson-Bush. We will be discussing entrepreneurship, self-limiting beliefs, and domestic violence.
Rynette, we want to welcome you to Candid Conversations. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited about being here and sharing. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're so welcome. We want to know a little bit more about you because we hear there's a lot in the works with you. Can you please tell us where you were born and just a little bit about your upbringing?
Okay, I am born and raised here in
Really?
Orlando, Florida.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I only left to go to college. My parents are both educators,
Okay.
and so I ended up being an educator as well.
Oh, boy.
And,
Goodness.
I grew up in a household where I had loving parents,
Yes.
but you know they didn't always talk.
Okay.
And so I had to learn different when I had my children. So you know I talked to them a lot more.
It's generational,
Yeah,
I
it's
believe.
generational.
That's
Yes.
the story in
You know.
almost everyone's household.
You know, you stay seen.
There you go.
And
Not
Not
heard.
heard.
That's right. Uh-huh.
Yes.
We understand, believe me.
Yes.
So how many brothers and sisters?
I have one brother and one sister.
Did y'all get along?
Um,
We
Yes.
understand
We
that.
fight
too.
as kids. We
yes,
know.
we did. My brother and I always got along.
Okay.
He was 8 years younger, so
Oh, wow.
you know it was like we did a lot of keeping him. But my sister and I, we were okay for the most part.
Okay.
But here and there, like you said,
Of course,
brothers
it
and
happens.
sisters,
That's how it
they,
is.
they have spats.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Had
It
our
happens.
spats.
Healthy spats.
Yes, yes, definitely.
So we know about your childhood. Now tell us about Rynette now. What is Rynette doing in this community?
Okay, well, what I do is I help women
Okay.
to step out from who they are to who they want to
Oh,
be.
yes.
To be bold and unapologetic
Yes.
about
That.
it so that they can walk in their space and place of genius.
Oh, nice. Well,
Yes,
what made you,
yes.
what brought you to that? How did that come about?
Well, like I said, as I grew up, it was not a lot of talking
Right.
in
Yes.
my household. So I had goals and dreams of, you know, being an actress and having a business.
Okay.
My uncle is Sidney Poitier. So
Excuse
It's my
you.
dad's favorite person.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
Oh,
favorite
wow.
actor.
So as a child and seeing him, you know, doing all the things he was doing and getting around him, I was so excited.
You fell
I
in
thought-
love with it.
Yeah, I thought that was something that I could do.
Right.
And you know, my mother would say, no, that's not for you. You need to go to school.
Right.
And
Get your
get
education.
your education. You know how it is. So I ended up thinking that I could not, you know, do the things that I really wanted to do at the time. Black women, they'll tell you black women can't open a business, can't start
Right.
a business.
Right.
So eventually I went and I was an educator. And it was good because it was a stepping stone.
Okay.
But I knew that there was more.
Yeah, that's
so,
not what you really wanted,
right,
but you ended up doing it.
Yes, so for the longest, I kept saying, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna start my own business, and every time I talked about it to, you know, my mom and different people, girl, that's too much. You know, they want to keep me safe.
Isn't that something, how family
Yeah.
and friends can just deter you from doing what it is that you really, really
Want to
want to
do.
do?
Yes,
Yeah.
I experienced
definitely.
that myself.
Yeah, and that keeping you safe is really keeping you stuck.
Right.
And you know, I heard somebody say fear, friends, enemies, and relatives.
Yes.
You know, they keep you stuck.
Yes.
So I wanted to do more. So eventually, I got around some women at this church,
Okay.
and they kept talking about their businesses, and they were so positive, and I was like, yep, they're lying.
You tell me
They
anything.
are so fake. I just didn't, and they kept bothering me.
Right.
And I was like, okay. So I finally went to this conference with them. That was the best thing in my life. That's when I really started to feel like, you know what, I might
I
could
could
do
do this.
And so I ended up leaving the school system,
Okay.
myself and my sister.
How many years were you in the school system?
17.
Oh, wow.
17 years.
Yes.
And you made that decision to
I
walk
made the
away and
decision
do
to
something
walk
that
away.
Rynette wants to do.
Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
That's good.
That takes a lot of
Yes.
courage.
It was scary, but it
Yeah.
was a faith walk. You know, I'm a true believer in God.
Yes, yes.
And even though I was scared, I did it scared. And I can't say that I didn't want to quit sometimes, but I kept saying
doing it.
this is
You
a
kept
faith
pushing.
walk. Can't turn back.
Right. Now, I am enough. Those are three powerful words.
Yes.
Why is that message important to you, and why is it important for our listeners?
It's very important because, first of all, God is the master.
Yes, he is.
And so if we are a piece of him, we are a masterpiece.
Absolutely.
And so many times, because of what people have said to us, because of what people have done to us,
Right.
you start to feel that you're not worthy,
Right. I
that
can't
you're
do
not
this.
good
I'm
enough.
nobody.
Yeah, that I'm nobody. And that's how I felt for the longest,
Okay.
that I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, I wasn't good enough to do all the things I wanted to do. I had big dreams,
Yes.
but I just felt like I couldn't do it. And when I did find out the secret that I really was enough, I just felt like I needed to let the world know. And so it was just my thing. I always loved to give, even as a child. So I
Yes.
felt like I wanted to give back. Once
Right.
I discovered who I was, I wanted
wonderful.
to share it and help everybody else.
That's right. And you've been doing that.
Yeah.
ever since.
I've been really pushing on purpose.
But
to
what's
make
your
things happen.
backstory, though, with that? There's a backstory to it.
Well, like I said, I was in the school system for 17 years.
Right.
I walked away. Very scary.
Yes.
And it was myself and my sister. And so when we started out on our journey, like I said, people said, girl, you crazy. That doesn't make sense.
People
Why
will
would you
say that.
leave a job that you've been on for, you know how many people want your job? I was like, they could have it because
Yes.
I'm going on.
Yes.
So in the process of trying to find a building, we started in April 2012 and did not get the building until 2013. 6 buildings fell through.
6.
6, not 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yes.
5, 6. And so finally, the 7th building, that's the building where we got the building. And it was just history from there. You know, 7 is the number of completion.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes. Wow.
So that's
Yes.
wonderful that you're able to, that you continued. You knew what you wanted. You didn't want, I mean, you enjoyed the school system,
Yes.
but you wanted to follow your dream, and
I
that is to
did.
be an
Yes.
entrepreneur, to help people. Why do you think that is so important, what you're doing and helping women? Why is that so important to you?
It's important to me because it took me 40-something years to even do what I wanted to do.
Right.
And I felt like, and I always knew that there was more for me.
Yes.
And I want women to also know that there is more for them. Because if you don't walk in your purpose and your destiny and what God called you to do, your life will never be fulfilled.
Right.
Not.
And
You're
we
right.
want to make sure that when we go and we pass, that you have everything
That's right.
in you,
you go.
out of you,
That's
that you
right.
got empty. So
Absolutely.
that's my whole thing.
That's
So
right.
it's very important to me to push women on purpose to walk in their purpose and destiny.
I love it.
Me too.
Yeah, I love that.
Now, Rynette, we're going to get on a touchy subject, but we have to talk about it because that's what
Yes.
our platform is about.
Absolutely.
We want to touch on domestic violence. You have a little history with that. Can you share a little bit with us?
Yes. So when I was in college, I went to South Carolina State at first, and then
Okay.
I transferred to FAMU. In my,
What brought you to South Carolina State?
I just
How'd
wanted
you
to
get
get
there?
away from
Get away,
Florida.
yes.
Yes. And my parents were like, "Oh, this out-of-state fees," and so when my sister started school, they were like, "You're leaving."
Yes.
Go. So I had to go to FAMU. Everybody in my family graduated from FAMU.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So I was there, and I didn't really know anybody, so I was just trying to kind of make my way. And I met this young man.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I made some bad decisions. He was
We
a
all do.
drug
Happens.
dealer.
We
Yeah.
all do.
Yeah,
Say-
drug dealer.
He was a
so-
drug dealer? Okay.
Yeah. And so in the process, I mean, I thought I was doing it because I
Oh,
had
yeah.
a maid. I
Yeah.
was in college, you know, driving his Cadillac, that kind of stuff.
You felt like
But
you had it.
Yeah,
You
I
had
thought
it.
I had it going on. And so I was still going to school and could go and just whatever. But after a while, just the infidelity, the cheating, all of that kind of
Enough.
stuff, and then started calling me out of my name.
No.
Just the arguments, the drinking, the
Right.
smoking, all of that. And I
Oh,
was
no.
like, God, this is not my life.
No.
Right.
And so I didn't realize at the time that, you know, that was really emotional
Draining.
abuse.
abuse.
Yeah. And
It
it
is.
was very draining.
Yeah.
And it just killed my self-esteem.
Yes.
Like it was under the ground.
Right.
And I remember one day we were driving coming from somewhere, And I was listening to the song, and he wanted to listen to something else. He turned the radio. I was like, and I turned it back.
Right.
And so he was like, I'm getting out of the car, and he got out of the car.
Okay.
So I just drove off. I went home. I was there to probably about maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Okay.
He kicked the door in.
Oh my
Kicked
gosh.
the door in, and
Well, he was high too.
oh, he
of
was
course.
high, hot, drunk, everything.
Right.
And he, he was like calling me out of my name.
Yes.
He grabbed me, turned the shower on, grabbed me around my neck, held my head under the shower. I'm
Oh
just,
my gosh. Yeah.
coughing up.
That's
coughing
not
up.
love.
Yeah, not love at all. And I mean, like, it was terrible. I was fighting for
Yeah.
my life.
Oh, my Lord.
And the only reason that I came out of that is because his sister called the police, and she came and she pulled him off, and they heard the noise and
Oh
the
my
screaming.
gosh.
So some people who were in the apartment complex, they came and they helped.
Helped
my
you.
gosh.
Other
I'm
than
sorry
that,
you had to go through
I
that.
would not have gotten away.
Right. I'm just glad you got away from that,
Exactly.
and you're here to tell your story.
I'm here to tell my story. But it was a one and done.
Okay,
because
that's
I
it.
knew that
This is not for me.
Yeah,
It's
that
not for
wasn't
me.
for
Not-
me.
Not this
Right.
type of
but it
lifestyle.
was a lot.
Yes.
And I didn't come up in a home where I saw my parents cussing and fussing
Right.
and
Hitting each
that
other or
kind of
anything.
stuff.
Mhm.
So it was just like, oh my God, I couldn't even believe that it happened.
But it's easy to happen,
It is.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because
You
I
don't even
went
realize it.
through something like that
Yeah.
as well. It's very easy, and a lot of times you don't see it.
Right. and
Other
I
people
didn't.
see it before you can see it.
I didn't.
Right, until finally you're out of it. And
Yes.
you're looking back like,
And then you realize.
how did I put up with that? What was wrong with me that I felt like
Absolutely.
I
Love
can just let
sometimes,
somebody
you know.
treat me or talk to me any type
Yeah.
of way?
I don't know what to call it, but I mean, I should have known better, but sometimes you don't.
You
And-
don't.
And then at the time, it is a taboo subject. Nobody
Very.
really talks about it.
don't wanna talk
I
about
didn't
it.
know anything really about domestic violence.
Right.
I didn't know anybody who had been through it.
Right.
Until I went
So you went through it.
And then I started realizing as I was getting, some counseling and some help,
Right.
that this had gone on before that first day.
See?
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I kind of just thought it was that day.
Of course.
Right, but it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It's been
It had been
ongoing.
going on,
Right.
but I didn't realize.
Exactly. But Rynette, when his hand was literally on your throat in the shower and you were struggling to breathe, what was going through your mind? Did you fight? What did you do?
I was fighting, and I just literally thought it was going to be the end, but I just kept trying
Praying.
to fight. I was, coughing up water, and I was like, God, I was just trying to call out God's name and,
Right.
and just hope that I could get out of it. But I kind of thought to myself, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so,
Can't
but
fight
I
it.
was going to fight to the end,
Till the
and,
end.
and I was so happy. Well, I guess I wasn't happy. I was relieved,
Yeah,
Right.
I'll
that's-
say,
Right.
that his sister and the people were
Thank
able to
God.
pull me out
Yeah.
and get him off of me.
Right. Yeah, I'm thankful. Sorry you had to go through
I
that.
know.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
Can you share some of the symptoms that you saw? Some of the, if it was, whether it was verbal, whether it was.
Definitely, I can. It started out with verbal abuse, calling me out of my name,
Right.
and we would be arguing back and forth, and then the other women coming in, and drug dealers, they have their friends talking to me
Right.
disrespectfully in front
Yes.
of his other drug dealer friends and stuff
Like
like
you were
that.
nobody.
Right. And I would argue back and forth or whatever, and he would say things, and of course, because I didn't really know, I love you, and
Of course.
I would just shiny objects,
Of
and
course.
the money, the car,
Right, the cars, you were
clothes,
living good.
Jewelry,
everything, living
Right.
good, riding good,
Right.
and so I felt like he was going to get better.
Of course.
And I used to hope and pray
Isn't
that
that
he would
something?
get better.
Right, and it
I
never
just
does.
thought that he was the man for me.
You just
Right.
kept waiting
I was
and waiting.
confused, and,
Right.
yeah.
But-
And I kept waiting and waiting until that day.
Yeah.
I knew that had to be the
That's
end.
it.
Right.
And even the police came. I gave my story. Of course, when he called and he was in jail and everything, I didn't step up and press charges like I should have.
Yeah.
I ended up just leaving school. I
no.
graduated.
Right.
Okay, good.
But I left and I finished from home.
Okay,
Okay.
I see.
Because you were safe.
Yes.
Someplace you felt safe.
Yes, definitely.
Right. Did he eventually get out?
He
Of jail,
eventually
he did.
got out.
He
yes.
got in contact with you, didn't he?
Yes.
Of course.
But I already knew, like I said, it was a one and done
One and done.
situation.
You weren't gonna go
because
back to
I
that.
wasn't brought up like that.
Right.
I don't know what made me accept it. Like I said, just the shiny object
yes,
syndrome.
that's what it was.
And just being young
Right.
and not having anybody to talk to or tell about it because
Right.
I was embarrassed.
Of course.
And that's what happens with so many people.
There you go.
But once I realized, it was like, I need to share my story.
You have
to.
It's years later.
Yes.
But still,
Exactly.
I knew that it had to be shared.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing that. I end up, like I said, I did the same.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we're taught whatever happens in your home, you need to keep your mouth quiet and do not discuss your business.
Absolutely.
Whatever happens behind closed doors needs to
Stays.
stay there.
Absolutely.
And so that's what we learned, growing up. And so a
Yes.
lot of times we just keep our mouth shut, and we're the ones that suffer in the long run.
It's true.
Absolutely. And so many people suffer for years on
Many,
top
many
of
years.
years. And they suffer to the point of losing their lives.
There you
That's
go.
true.
And that's why it's so important for me
We're fortunate.
to get this message out.
Yes.
Because I could have lost my life
Yes.
that day.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Being that brave person. We appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you so much.
And you too.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. You do so many things.
Yes, she does.
You have so many things going on. You're an author?
Yes, I am. I am.
How many books have you?
Well, the first book that I had with 4 ladies is called Teacher of the Year, and
Okay.
it talks about domestic violence.
Okay, Teacher of the Year.
I have to get that book to you.
Yes.
It's a great book.
Okay.
And then I did Reclaiming My Time, an anthology
Okay.
with some other ladies. But my book that I did myself is called Put Your Mouth on It.
Yeah, okay.
Really?
Well, that's
Oh,
a little catchy.
Put your mouth on it.
Yeah, put your mouth on it.
Tell us about
Put your mouth on what God said you can do.
All right.
There you go.
You have to open your mouth and God will fill it. And I didn't even know when I wrote this book last year that this was the year of the mouth. That's a prophetic
my
word.
gosh, 2020.
And I just found that out. And I was like, oh my God, you were talking to me for real? So that was a great book. It was a Amazon #1 bestseller.
That's
Okay.
right. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yeah, and then I'm so excited because last Tuesday, the new book launched an anthology
Yes.
with 25 authors, including
oh
myself.
my gosh.
That's awesome.
Yes,
That's
it's
awesome.
called Girl Get Up and Move.
All
And
right.
it was
Congrats.
also Amazon #1
Congratulations.
bestseller.
What is that about?
That is about women getting up and walking in their purpose.
Yes, yes,
Not
ma'am.
staying stuck.
That's right.
Knowing that you have a purpose and a destiny,
And a
you
message.
cannot, you can't stay stuck in it.
Yeah.
You have to get up and share your gifts
You
and
have
your
to.
talents with
Yes.
the world. What has happened to you, it wasn't for you, as
That's
you
right.
know. It's to
Oh, yes.
share with somebody else.
That's right.
And so this book right here is a book of inspiration, motivation,
Yes.
Okay.
action steps. It has a scripture,
Okay.
2 reflection questions behind each chapter.
Okay, good.
And then a place to journal your thoughts.
Well, that was a good
And
idea
so
for you.
during the pandemic, I was going to church and God gave me this thing. He said, you're supposed to do an anthology. I already knew that.
Yes.
But he gave me the name, Girl, Get Up and Move. And so I was kind of sitting on it. That happened in March. And then when the pandemic happened, I
Yes.
said, it's time to really make
Do
some
something.
stuff happen.
Yes.
And because people are hurting.
They are hurting.
They're sad. And then with me losing my grandson,
Oh,
I
so
just
sorry
thought
about
that,
that.
you know what? I need to get up and move myself.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So sorry to hear about your
Yes.
grandson.
Yeah.
That's devastating.
But see, God gave me what I needed to get up and move.
Get up and move.
Yes.
Get up and move.
Yes.
Yes, and you've done just that.
Yes.
I have many friends and family who have went through emotional abuse, and many people don't realize that long-term effects that it has on your brain.
Yes.
Tell us, did you receive any therapy regarding what you went through and the trauma?
I did for not long,
Okay.
maybe about 2 months, and I really didn't want to go.
Okay.
But my mother suggested that
Yes.
I
Okay.
went, and she was like, "No, you have to," because, like I said, I didn't see that in my house.
Yes.
And so I kind of wanted to stay in the house and just be a recluse. And she was like, "No,
Right.
you need to go and get some help." So after about 2 months, I was like, you know what?
That's it.
I
Yeah.
don't need this
Right.
anymore.
Right.
And so I just felt like I was done with it.
You
But
let this out.
I should
You should have
stayed.
kept, yeah.
because, and I know it's a taboo subject
Of course.
for us to go get therapy,
Right.
to go get help.
Right.
And I'm glad that I did,
Yeah.
because the short time that I was there, I learned to kind of self-talk,
There you go.
coach myself.
There you
But
go.
then I went in and out of it.
Yes.
That's why I said I should have stayed longer, because even though I did good, I didn't get into another relationship with abuse, but still, it wasn't it was a lot of relationships I probably shouldn't have been in.
Exactly.
And I was talking myself in and out.
In and out.
I know
And staying
exactly
in
how
them
you
too
feel.
long, you know?
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
Why didn't you want to go before to therapy?
therapy?
I want to hear what your reasoning. Fear.
I just didn't want to talk about it.
Yes,
I mean,
okay.
I didn't feel like I wanted to talk about
Anybody's
it with somebody
business.
I didn't
Some
know.
stranger.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then I just didn't want to keep bringing it up. I felt like just let me
Just
let
let-
it
yeah.
be over.
Okay.
I was just graduating from college. I just wanted to go ahead and get my career
Move
done.
on forward with
and
your
I didn't
life.
want to dwell in it. And so I felt like going to therapy, I was still dwelling in
Right,
it and not
okay. You
realizing
wanted to
that
move
was
on.
the thing to help me. Yeah.
And that was with me too, that I didn't go for any therapy at all. I
Wow.
basically self-treated myself, and I wish I would have. I really do, but at the time my kids were young.
Right.
So, you know, I was so busy working that it was like I'm wasting time trying to go and speak to someone about my
Trying to
problems
heal yourself.
when I need to go to work
Right.
and
Yeah.
make
That's
some money
something.
to feed these kids. You know
But-
what I mean?
Yes,
So,
yes.
But then what happens later in life? You end up with anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts. That's what happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's true.
Absolutely. But this is the thing. We don't look like what we've
but
been
we've
No,
been
ma'am.
through.
No,
Girl,
ma'am.
don't make me get up and start jumping up and down.
And she will.
Yes, yes.
You are so
That's
silly.
the truth.
Yes.
Y'all are so beautiful.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you,
you so
you
much.
too.
You too.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Beautiful
Yes.
spirit.
Yes.
What advice would you give to somebody that is or has gone through or is going through what you have been through? What type of advice would you give? Look at that camera and tell these viewers, what advice would you give to them?
I would say if you know that you are in a domestic violence situation and somebody is treating you in a way that you don't feel good about it, calling you out of your name, whether it's emotional, physical, whatever type of abuse, if you don't feel right about it, I say get out.
Yes.
I mean, bottom line, don't sit in it. Don't stay in it.
That's right.
Don't listen to anybody that tells you, girl, it's okay. You have got to move when you realize that you're in that situation, whether
right.
that means call the police, go to a safe space
Yes.
and place. Do not allow it to continue to fester.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right, because that's what happens.
Right.
And then you explode.
There you
You
go.
explode, or they explode on you,
Right.
and you end up losing your life.
Losing your life, right?
Yeah.
That is the truth. What would you say to your younger self?
I would
young
say
Rynette.
to my younger self that you are enough to do anything and everything that
Yes.
you want to do, and you don't have to settle
That's right.
or put
Yes.
up with anything
That's
from
right.
anyone
Yes.
that's not treating you like the woman that you are.
That's the truth.
Very good.
Yeah, I love that. That is true. It's true, because a lot of times we forget. We forget about us. We don't think that we're worthy. We don't think that
Yes.
we deserve to be treated,
Right.
you know, like a queen. We
Yes.
don't think so.
Absolutely.
We
Yes.
think it's
Absolutely.
okay. Oh, okay, that didn't work with that guy. Okay, I'll go to the next guy. Oh, that
Right.
didn't work with that guy. I'll go to the next guy. Because we think that some people accept that.
Yes.
We accept it for a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, we do. And then we're so busy when we are in those types of relationships trying to build them up, because that's what
Right.
I did.
Isn't that something?
He didn't have
For
a
no reason.
not a college. He didn't even have a high school diploma.
Come on.
And so, you know, I was like, you know, let's get back in school.
Right, right,
and I
right.
did get him
Trying
to go
to
back
push
to
him,
school,
yeah.
trying to help.
Yes.
You know, and we spend so much time trying to
building.
help build others that we don't build ourselves. And as women, we have got to do better.
We
about
we
it.
have to do better. Self-care is definitely necessary. I say that all the
Totally.
time.
Totally necessary.
Now, Rynette, during this time of uncertainty, I have to protect my mental health. So I limit the amount of news that I watch. I pay attention to who I surround myself with.
Yes.
How have you and your family been during this pandemic?
Well, during the pandemic, like I said, I lost my 6-year-old grandson.
Yes.
So to go through COVID and lose a grandson,
Right.
that was just devastating.
Devastating.
Yes.
So the first part of it was really, really difficult.
Yes.
But I truly know that God is a healer.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
God is a deliverer.
That's right.
And so through the process, just praying and just trusting
Yes.
and just believing that God had something for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd do anything to have my grandson
Of
back.
course, of course.
But I was able to move forward.
Yeah.
When I thought that I couldn't speak anymore, I thought that I didn't want to live anymore. I
Yes.
just felt like, but I knew, you know, I have other grandkids.
Right.
So
Yes.
I just had to really get myself
Of
together,
course.
and it was through prayer.
Right.
Prayer changes
It
everything.
does, it
And it's
does.
only through God's strength.
That's right.
And I always said to God, if you could get me up, you know, and moving again, I'm going to share your
Yes,
name
that's right.
with the world, because he's been so good to
That's
me.
right.
And I can't help but say thank you,
Thank you,
God,
Lord.
every day.
That's good.
And tell everybody about him. And I say, use me, God.
Yes.
I surrender. Whatever
right.
you need me to do,
I'll do
whatever
it.
you want me to do,
Direct
I'll
me.
do it.
Yes.
Can I ask a personal question?
You may.
When my mother passed, that was 10 years ago, and it's just like it was yesterday for me.
I get it.
I said, but why, God? Why? Did you feel that way when your grandson passed?
I just felt so lost, like I said, because it was a car accident, and just
Yes.
sitting in the hospital those days while he was on life support. I just kept saying, what is this, God? What is this?
What's the
I didn't
message?
say why,
Yeah.
but just like, what is this?
Right.
I couldn't even believe what was happening. I
Yes.
just felt so numb. And so through the process, I just I didn't ask why.
Okay.
I just kept saying, what is this?
Yeah.
I
What is the
don't even
message?
get
What
it.
am I supposed
you
to
know,
learn
I
from
didn't
this?
get
There's
it.
always
So
a
for the
message behind
longest,
it.
I just sat kind of still.
Numb.
And I just kept praying, God,
Yes.
help me.
Okay.
Help me to move. So that's
Okay.
how, everybody handles it
Different.
different. And it's been tough for my family,
Of course.
especially my grandkids.
Yes.
Of course.
And them being so young, not understanding
They don't
death.
understand. Yeah.
But through God's grace,
Yes.
we've all been able to get through.
Yeah.
God is good.
You know, we won't ever get over.
No,
Like you said,
never.
it seems like it was just yesterday.
Yes.
But we have been able to get
Get
through.
through it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Very
true.
good.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Be strong. Prayers
Yeah,
go
I
out
know
to
it's hard,
you and
yeah.
your family during that.
Yeah,
It's
and I
gonna
know
be- it's
you
gonna
all
take
had
a
to
while.
do the same thing,
Yeah.
be
No
strong,
joke.
because that's a lot.
It is a
is.
lot.
Yeah, it is.
Death is never easy.
Oh no, never, ever, ever.
Yeah.
You know what? Which we have to ask this because of everything that's going on
Right.
with the social injustice and the police brutality. We just want to get your take on it. What do you feel? What do you feel? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think that this is, even though it's ugly,
Yes.
it needed to happen.
Yes.
Because it's opening up doors.
Yes.
It's opening up eyes
Yes.
to the things that have happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening. I'm gonna tell you what I heard.
Okay.
I was listening to Dr. George Frazier last week, and he talked about we were not brought over here; we were sent over
We
here
were sent. Yes.
to help this world
Yes.
to really recognize who God was. And so I think that's what's happening now, because a lot of people are understanding and turning to God. Like I said,
Right.
eyes are opening,
Yes.
doors are opening, opportunities
Are
are
opening,
opening.
yes.
And so a lot of people want to sit in the negativity, and I know things look bad,
Right.
but we can't look at what we see.
No.
Right.
We have to understand that God has more for us.
That's right.
And so when we open our eyes and understand that everybody has the same opportunity, I don't
Everyone.
care what we could keep saying the white man this and this, but we all have the opportunity
Absolutely.
to win.
That's right.
It's the choices we make.
Yes.
And so we have to get up and move and
There you
make
go.
stuff happen.
That's right.
Too many people let life happen. You need to make it happen.
Make it happen.
I love
Oh,
that.
yes. I
Yes.
like that. Make
Yes.
it happen.
Yes.
And you know what? A lot of times, and I was just telling my sister about this, is that we need to work together.
That's a big problem in our
Ooh,
We
community.
have a
Yes.
problem working together.
I don't understand it.
Yes.
We hate on each other. We dislike each other. We talk about each other. We bring each other down.
Yeah.
We need to work
Absolutely.
together, period.
Yes, that was the conversation, part of the conversation Dr. Frazier had last week, because every other race works together. What is the problem?
What's the problem?
Jealousy.
We got to get it together. We have got to get it together.
Yes.
We got to stick together.
Yes.
He said we got to read. We need to
Read,
read.
Absolutely.
We need to inform ourselves.
Educate ourselves.
Yes, too many people are waiting on somebody to tell them
No.
something. They don't want to go look and research.
No.
You do
Find
it.
out. And then don't want to listen.
Yes. At all.
Already got your mind made up. Closed
It's true.
mindset. Limited mindset.
Yes.
We got to open up our
You have
minds.
to.
I
And we
agree.
have to open up our mouth.
Yes.
We have to open up
Loud.
our heart,
Yes.
and learn to forgive. Because, you want to be mad forever and hating, like
Yes.
you said. That's got to stop.
It has to stop.
Got to stop.
Yes. Rynette, you are very well known in the community.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, you are.
Oh, really?
Yes, you
But what is it that we want to know something that somebody out there doesn't know about you? Tell us something.
Well, let's see. I don't have a whole bunch of secrets at all. Let me see. Now you got me on that.
Okay.
question. What I can say, if people don't know me,
Yes.
they probably have seen me. I love to have fun. I love to dance.
Okay.
And they already know I live to give. I mean, I'm a God
a
freak. I
blessing.
love Jesus. I
Yes.
love God.
That's right.
But I love to dance and have fun.
Have a good time.
Yeah, that's my whole thing. That's like happy for me.
Good.
That and the beach.
Yes,
Oh,
okay.
me too. That's one of my favorite
Yeah.
places. The
Yeah.
beach. Good.
Yes.
Tell the audience about how they can get in contact with you
Okay.
and some upcoming. Well, first, how about some upcoming projects? Do you have anything coming up? Anything you want to share?
I do
Okay.
have some
Come
great
on.
things coming up. Okay. So, the new book, Girl Get Up and Move, it launched last Tuesday, like I
Okay.
said. So we're going to be having some upcoming book talks and table talks.
Okay.
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 And then I also do an event in December. It's going to be virtual this year, and it is called the Table of Greatness.
Okay.
The Table of
The
Greatness.
Table of Greatness, because God called us to be great.
Mm-hmm.
And so when people come to this event, and it's ladies, they come to this event, we're really preparing. It's always the first Saturday in December. So this
Okay.
prepares you
Okay.
for the next year that you're about to step into. So you
Okay.
can walk into it ready to go.
Yeah.
That's right.
Not thinking about it, not wishing, but actually with a plan.
Okay.
Okay.
And so when you come to the table of greatness, you will understand that next level is your only option.
Okay.
The everybody, the status quo, the average, the mediocre, that's not for the people that sit at this table.
Okay.
So
Okay.
when you come, you're gonna get a whole. And this year's going. I haven't named my guest. I haven't put it out, but I'm telling y'all.
We have to be there.
OMG. This is where you have to be in the space, in the
place to
place,
be.
in the room.
Yes.
Because if you miss it this year, you're gonna kick yourself.
Front and center.
Yes, yes. So that I'm just so excited about it. And then also, I am going to be opening up my cart for Next Level Chicks, which is the
Alright.
entrepreneur group.
Okay.
So if you are new or aspiring entrepreneur
Okay.
and you want to walk away and you need the steps to leave your job, you want to start with a side hustle, you want to fire your boss,
Whatever it
kick 'em
is.
to the curb.
Yes.
Yes, I'm opening up that cart, and then along with that, I'm so excited because not only are we going to have Next Level Chicks,
Okay.
we're going to start the Next Level Nation.
Okay.
Okay.
To include men.
nice.
To include
Men,
men,
children,
women,
kids, okay.
and helping everybody. Like I said, my brand is Next Level.
Okay.
And everybody has a next level.
That's
I don't care
we
what
do.
it is, whether it's you need to finish school,
There you go.
back to college,
That's right.
whether you're trying to get out of a bad relationship,
Yes.
whether you want to start a business, whatever it is. So this nation will have women, or will include women and men
Okay.
that want to go to their next level. So it will
nice.
be
Good.
a source of empowerment, motivation, inspiration,
Good.
all the things that you need, and it's going to be a source of a place of resource where you
Okay.
can get resources and
Good.
I like
ask
that.
questions and stuff to help you
Yeah.
to get to
The next
that next
level.
level. Because everybody has a next level.
That's
right.
I don't care what it is, but
It's-
you got
You
one.
got one.
That's
And
right.
too many people have sat for so
sat.
long and not moved to that next level. And my whole thing, I trademark this, push on purpose for the purpose of walking in your purpose and your destiny.
I like
Alright.
it.
That's how you get to
Yes,
your next level.
that's right.
You got to push.
You got to
Yes.
push. Push.
Nice.
Tell the people how to get in contact with you.
So you can find me on Facebook at Rynette Upson-Bush. You can find me, my business page is Rynette Upson. I'm on IG as Rynette Upson, and also Next Level Chicks Collaborate. And you can also find me at RynetteSpeaks.com. I am a speaker, so I'll be speaking around.
So
that's
much talent.
That's some other things that you'll see. I love to speak.
So much
Empower.
talent.
Yeah. I don't know, talent. I try to, move forward and just empower people,
Right.
and not just try. I mean, that's just something I love
That
to
you
do.
do.
Yeah.
To speak into somebody's life
Yes.
every day. I want to empower
right.
and
That's right.
speak into people's
right.
lives.
We all need that.
Yes.
Yes.
Very
We all need
good.
that. Keep
Yes.
pushing.
Yes.
Yeah, and y'all too. I mean, what y'all are doing is just so wonderful, so great, and people
you,
need this,
Rynette.
especially in our community.
Yes,
Thank you
that's
so
right.
much.
So
Thank you, Rynette.
Thank y'all. Y'all
Yeah.
are doing great things. When I first met y'all, oh my gosh, like they are so wonderful. They're
Oh,
so
sweet.
fab,
Thank
and they're
you.
doing great things.
We
Woo-woo.
appreciate
Thank you.
that.
Yes,
Thank you so
yes.
much for being on.
Yes.
Thank y'all for having me. I just love this platform,
Good. Thank
and
you.
I just thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We'll
Keep
have you
doing-
back, but we want to just thank you for sharing your journey
That's
of
right.
overcoming and faith and courage, and we
Yes.
wish you nothing but the best.
That's right.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, and I wish you all the best, the
Thank you.
blessings, the prosperity, and
Yes.
everything
Thank
that God
you.
has for you.
Yes. Thank
All right,
you.
All right. We hope that you enjoyed the show. Please tune in next Tuesday at 6 p.m. for another inspirational story and discussion from a guest from our community. In closing, every 9 seconds, a woman in the United States is a victim of domestic violence. The definition of emotional abuse is any abusive behavior that isn't physical, which may include verbal aggression, intimidation, manipulation, and humiliation, which most often unfolds as a pattern of behavior over time that aims to diminish another person's sense of identity, dignity, and self-worth, and often results in anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts or behaviors, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Rynette was brave to get up and move out of it, and now offers insight, inspiration, and motivation to women to believe in who they are and stand in their worth. A wise man once said, "Be careful who you let on your ship, because some people will sink the whole ship just because they can't be the captain." We are real sisters, sharing real stories within our community. Thank you for tuning in.
Welcome to Candid Conversations online and TV show, a space where the least desired and hardest topics are brought to light in order to heal as a community.